Namaste. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, my name is Sadhana, and I'm an intuitive reader and healer. And I am carrying on with card of the year readings for 2022. I was at a little bit earlier talking about how to calculate your tarot card for 2022 and the instructions. And there's a link below in the description box. I believe it links to last year's video. There's a couple of different ways to do this. And if you need help, I'm sure there'll be somebody in the chat or I can help you as we're going through. But this particular reading is for, let me just switch the camera so you can see. I'm doing a reading for the Wheel of Fortune. I am using the Sacred Bee deck, the Journey of the Sacred Bee. This is I'm guessing this is this is a top view, a bird's eye view looking into the hive. This is the Lover's card. And the reason the Lover's card is sitting underneath here is that 2022 is 2 + 2 + 2. So the energy of 2022 is a 6. And so in each of these readings, as we go through, I want to look at the energy of the tarot card of the year in relation to the Lover's card. And so what would the wheel or the Wheel of Fortune represent? And again, for those of you that haven't studied with me, I really like to lean into the artwork. And so whatever deck you are working with, if you're doing your own reading, take time to do that, to look and see if there's special messages in the art that are speaking to you. Personally, I'm really drawn to the purple that is in the background here. Around the wheel, we have the symbols, the fixed symbols of the zodiac. And the bee here at the top feels significant. It feels important, almost as if you, as the bee, you have the power to turn your own wheel. This is something that one of my personal manifestos is that the more we are in sync with the natural cycles of the universe, the easier our life will be, right? We don't have to, there's no paddling upstream, so to speak. We go with the flow. So the Wheel of Fortune in a lover's year, what would that be? Well, it can speak to changing relationships, changing choices, perhaps with the Lover's card, there's this realization that we find our strength through unity. We find our strength through balance. And we can choose discord in relationship, but if we want to choose harmony, we need to be in touch with both our divine masculine and divine feminine selves. So perhaps this turn of the wheel, this getting more in touch with flow, is about embracing a path back to that. This one's a little harder to bring intersection to. It could just simply speak to changing the way or the perception or the perspective with which we view relationship, right? So there's a few different things, and hopefully we'll get clarity with some of the other cards. This spread that I'm doing tonight is one where I separate the deck into the 4 suits. And so you're going to get one card for each of the suits. And I'm going to start with the wands. So what is the fiery energy that those beautiful souls with wheel as their card for 2022 need to keep in mind? Or awaken or be aware of? Ooh, this lion is so gorgeous. I'm going to keep this pile together here. So this is the king. This is the king. The King of Wands has a lot of strength, a lot of strength. And has a lot of fire. So we need to be able to keep the fire in check. It's important to keep the fire in check. There is a tendency to getting carried away with things that could be an abundance of anger. It could be wanting to flee. It could be all kinds of things. But the positive qualities of the King of Wands are, the King of Wands is a master of the element of fire. And so we need to be respectful of that as well, too. So something is changing with the dynamic of the element of fire. Okay. Sorry, these trolls kind of throw me off. Um, it makes me lose track of my thought. Okay. King of Wands, leadership, strength, possibility, power. So this might be a change of power, right? A change of status. In the suit of fire, we're in the suit of will. Magic as well, too. Okay, let's see how we're going to balance that with divine feminine energy. So the suit of water, the suit of cups. We have the 10. This feels very rich, these two cards together, not rich in wealth, but rich in energy. Like it's a, and this, of course, we have a 10 and a 10. And what I'm feeling here is fulfillment. So if you have been waiting for your turn, if you've been waiting for your kick at the can, this feels like so far, this feels like a big yes year, that the wheel is turning in your favor. If you've been waiting to complete something, if you've been waiting for a promotion, you've been wanting to rise up in some aspect of your life, this feels entirely possible. Okay, gonna go to the earth element next. Right. So with the greatness of the cards that have shown up so far, one of the things that I would caution is that I'm looking for a card of great grounding. I'm looking for a card of great grounding. Just so that the year doesn't feel so. And we have the card of great grounding. This is the 4 of discs. Okay. The keyword, this is a Thoth-based deck, and so it has Thoth keywords on the cards, if you can see them, is power. And this card would be connected to Emperor kind of energy. And so these two cards kind of really speak together. The Emperor being connected to Aries, also the element of fire. And here we have the 4 of discs. 4 of discs. So there is a sense of, for sure, structure, solid foundation. So this is a beautiful card to have in this reading, where I was feeling so far this could be quite a ride this year, but having the 4 of discs there feels stable. It feels like solid footing underground. Strength underground. It feels like financially, that if there is a project or something on the go, that you have that backing with you. So far, I feel like, yay, this is a very positive wheel year. And the energy of swords. So your voice, your thought, your mind. What is important to realize in this respect? So if you're doing a year ahead reading for yourself or other cards looking ahead to 22, keep the energy of the wheel handy in mind. And also, like I've done here, the energy of the Lover's card, because it may very well influence the reading that you're working with. So we have another 4. Another 4. So we have 4 of discs and 4 of swords. And I mean, that was a laugh. The key word on this card is recovery. It's important. Balance is an important thing, right? Lorna, would you please never come back to my channel again? I'm hiding you from this channel and you are never to come back and troll me. It's just not kind. So there's a sense of recovery that is necessary. We can't always be on fire. We can't always be going ahead, guns a-blazing. So my recommendation here is to, you want to carry your torch and you want to be passionate about the growth and expansion and rising to the level of completion, or maybe it's a retirement even, So be sure to give yourself the gift of healing, the gift of space, the gift of a vacation even. We need to be able to still the mind, and that grounding energy is really important. Very interesting that we have a 4 over a 4. Okay, so let's go to the oracle cards, and I'm very curious about these 4s. So let's do this side first. So I'm using soul trees for the oracle to clarify and expand on the information of the 4 of discs. Soul Trees is a beautiful oracle deck by Allison Williams Yee. I like to use it with my chakra work. Okay. Oh, now that's kind of perfect. Okay, so this is the Earth card. So there's a real sense of stability. And also I sense quiet. We have a sense of quiet here and quiet here. And then over on this side, we have a lot of energy. So referring to the Lover's card wants us to keep this all in balance. Good evening, Mary Beth. I'm not sure if I said that. I've been a little distracted by the visitors, the unwelcome visitors. Okay, what do we need to understand better about the 4 of Swords card, or this whole combination on the right hand of the reading? Mary Beth, what is your card for 2022? All right, this is the Connected and Free Oracle. The Beginnings card. I'll show you up close. So what I'm sensing here is hello, Janet, is a quiet, well, actually, no. Look at the parched earth here, or the dry earth. This kind of feels like, and then here we have if we're moving in this direction, we're kind of moving from something that's been used up to something a little bit fresher in the distance. There's also something about the energy of this trunk and the way that this line moves up through the deck, through the card. Oh, that's beautiful, Mary Beth. Thank you for sharing that. I started with the 8, so the Hierophant is going to be towards the end. Okay, so what do we need to know about this 10 of Cups energy? That's a lot of water. It is the completion of the suit of, it's almost like a completion of a challenging pattern, which we're kind of seeing over on the right side. But that King of Fire kind of wants you to keep going. It's a super interesting combination, 10 of Cups plus King of Fire. This is the Sacred Bee Oracle. All right, so we have the element of air and the energy of co-creation. You cannot do this alone. It's really interesting. Look at the bottom of the card. There's this separation down here. And I feel this connection here. So here we have this. So sorry, this is fire. This is fire, not air. This is fire. What? Okay. One of the messages here I feel is that the task that you are taking on this year, the change that is ensuing this year, or the changes that are ensuing this year are big. They may be bigger than you. You might not be able to manage them on your own. They're a lot. And there may be periods of time where giving yourself a personal timeout is absolutely necessary. Grounding is super important, but it feels like you will be able to do that and you will feel supported and there will be space for that. But know that you are supported and you don't have to do this all by yourself. Okay. The supporting card for the King of Wands. Let's have a look at that. That King of Wands is very red in the face. Very red in the face. This to me feels like a reading of retirement. That's what it feels like. A celebration, an acknowledgement of that, of all that you have done. This is the evolution card. Okay. So down there, we have co-creation, and here we have evolution. So with this particular completion here, and we're looking at the 10 in the center, this to me feels like a really positive card to show up. This is not about rehashing an old problem. This is about really seeing things in a new way and moving to a new level. There is sacred growth here, sacred expansion. These two cards feel very, very special in the reading. Next, I like these two cards here. It kind of assures me that the changes that are ensuing this year are really good for you. Really good. And they may have been in the works for some time. They may have been in the works for some time. So don't resist. This is a year for not resisting change. It's about embracing it and enjoying it and setting yourself up for success by taking adequate rest, recovery, nourishing yourself, grounding, landing, forest bathing, and knowing that you don't have to um, step onto this next part of the journey alone, right? Like minds, like hearts will help you move through this. Yeah. Okay. So that's it for the wheel. And I will be back shortly and we'll move on to justice. Okay. Take good care of yourselves, and I hope to see some of you later. Namaste.